Happy Friday, YouTube. Well, I'm on day 3 of no power in Northern California. For those of you guys that don't know, for almost 1 million people here in Northern California, they shut down the power because of the high winds and the risk of these crazy wildfires. So for the last 3 days, we've been on a generator, a lot of firewood, and a lot of barbecuing. And it's been fun. But thanks to Verizon and their hotspot, I'm lucky to say that I wasn't left without a cell phone service or, an internet connection. So thank you, Verizon. And, today I was talking to, 2 agencies about leads. In one particular case, this large agency, their biggest concern they're having right now is that they don't have a reliable lead source for final expense. And they're trying to do Medicare as well as final expense. And we're excited to help them out with that. I told them, that X-Telecom, when we put it together 3.5 years ago, my motivation was really just to create a company that can consistently deliver leads to my agents. There was no plan of ever selling it to a third party. And here we are today, 3.5 years later. And for the last year now, not only do we supply our own agents, but we've been selling to third parties that sell final expense successfully. I'm happy to say that the average cost per acquisition for agents that are using our introduction is $150. So what that means is if they're paying $30 per lead, it's taking them 5 of those leads to make 1 sale. So $150. Granted, my agency's cost per acquisition is about $80. I have 30 agents on the phone writing business. One of our big call centers writing almost $200,000 in AP a day. Their cost per acquisition on our calls is $127, and they're having $804 annualized premiums. So quality is the name of the game, and we understand that. But one of the things that we're doing for some of our existing clients here at X-Telecom, we also notice that sometimes our client partners, they get comfortable and they just start going for the laydowns, and immediately you start hearing about their cost per acquisition increase. And that typically has to do with training. So what we're going to be doing with those guys is basically not renewing our contracts at the end of our agreements. We plan on not renewing it. And guess what? For all my clients that want more volume and all our volume, we're going to take those guys that have higher cost per acquisitions and send it to my agency, as well as some of our partners that are doing phenomenal on the leads. So, it's reasons like that keep us gaining more and more clients, and the right kind of clients, having quality leads. And then, the other group that I was talking to was a great friend of mine. And, for 5 years, he worked for me making $250,000 a year just as a producer, door knocking in Spanish. And I remember that 2 years before he left, he got really involved in cryptocurrency. And we did a few things with him, and it was phenomenal. But he broke away from final expense 100% and traveled the world with cryptocurrency. Well, today we were able to talk to him, and he's burned out of traveling the world. He's, been able to acquire a lot of coins, but the number one thing he misses is residual income and the ability to be able to stay in his home in Georgia and make a great living. And I was really, really excited to hear him say that, because it just goes to show again the value of selling insurance, and not to mention final expense. So guys, if you find yourself on a Friday and you're building your agency and you need a reliable lead source, and you're coachable, you're reliable, and you're really looking to better your cost per acquisition, and you're willing to be active, then give us a call. Consider X Telecom. Like I said, some of our clients, we're not going to renew with them at the end of their term because we see that they're not really engaged in making and being accountable themselves, and we see that for 6 months their cost per acquisition was great, and then the last 4 weeks their cost per acquisition starts dwindling, and we're selling over 1,500 calls a day. I mean, something don't make no sense. And typically what happens is the client or the agent starts modifying, changing, and really just starts becoming an order taker, looking for the laydowns. And we don't need that kind of client. Remember, X Telecom wasn't designed to be a lead sales organization. It was designed to provide quality leads to my insurance agency. But it turned into something else. So if you got an agency, you're struggling with leads, consider us. If you're out of the business or you're in the business and you want to consider transitioning to the phones because of the lead quality and the consistency, because we have no volume issue. Yesterday we had a record day of over 1,500 live calls that we were able to bill, which represents 20% of all of the calls that we receive. And our goal is 5,000. And with the firepower that we have with our TV guys, we can generate up to 20,000 inbound calls just from TV. We know that 80% of those calls are going to be garbage, but we can definitely increase the volume of leads that we get in terms of inbound volume, and in turn screen it and send it to you so you can have the best opportunity to making sales. So give me a call if you want to see how we sell. I personally close 10 to 20 apps a week alongside my teammates. And if you can duplicate what I do, I'll be more than happy to give you free leads. All right, so give me a call so we can discuss how we can help you guys. Peace.